Collaboration as well is just beyond just film minutes. Collaboration should go beyond film minutes and should extend to distribution as well. The honest truth is today everybody wants to own the channel.
If you have one filmmaker making one short film, that's one thing. But if you have 20 filmmakers that made 20 short films and come together as like an anthology piece, that's a very different conversation. So collaboration can solve a lot of problems.
I was angry, I was frustrated because my friend had traveled to Germany for a performance, a theater performance, and the day he arrived in Nigeria, he was arrested. So he entered, dropped his suitcases, came out to get food, and then he was arrested right in front of his house.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Filmjoint Premiere Top 10 Finalist Roundtable discussion. My name is Don Intekim Rex and I'll be your host for today's discussion. Right here I'm with beautiful people right now, and it's a privilege just being in their midst. But I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Starting from my right hand side, please introduce yourself, what you do.
Hi, my name is Joy Mezi, and I'm an actor, but I like to call myself a filmmaker now because it's my first film.
All right. I like that because it's always very easy for us to say, oh, we're filmmakers, but the person is just, one aspect. So, yeah, nice. All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Mel Rouge. I'm a filmmaker, musician, and creative.
All right. I think we creative really like doing a lot of things. I don't know.
We do, because art is everything.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. All right.
Hi, my name is Kolade Man, better known as Dr. Man. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a media consultant. When I'm not doing any of these things, sometimes on the weekend, I'm an event host.
All right. I don't know why I felt like you were going to say I'm a banker also. I don't know. Well, thank you very much, guys. We're all here to just have a sort of discussion about your films, about films generally, but specifically about short films and why we really love short films, because I think short films are the future. To an extent, yes, we have a lot of feature-length films, but I think a lot of people are starting to see the value of short films, and I think that's why we're here to have this kind of discussions. So I think the first question that I'll just put out there is, how do you feel to have your work spotlighted on platforms like the Filmjoint like this? I'll start with you.
Okay, it feels great. Actually, it feels amazing. I feel honored and privileged. I feel like, my efforts, to all the work that I put into the film is being recognized. So yeah, it feels really great.
All right, I feel you. I think we have a lot of people out there that shooting short films, and like I tell some people, you see, some people shoot their short films and it's only their family and their wife and children that watch it. It's sad, yeah, but it's reality.
Why?
But so I feel you. I totally feel you. Mel, would you like to say something?
I love it. I think it's all about storytelling, if it's long or short. And for any time that people get to see, my story, I love it. It's a privilege. It traveled. It did London. It did Barbados in January. It did Afrif in November. And it's some news as well. I'll share that later. But any time that my story can be shared, I love it. It's amazing.
All right. Thank you very much. So, Man, what about you?
Yes, for my film to be recognized on a platform like this, it's affirming because no matter what the scale of a film is, it is definitely made. It's like short films. Short films are more passionate films, So it's affirming and it's encouraging, to keep doing.
All right, yeah. Short films are really more passionate because, when you want to do a short film, it's the shaggy that you see, So there's a lot of passion that really needs to drive you to actually do those films. All right, I totally agree.
It's incredibly validating to have my film Beyond Olympic Glory recognized by the Filmjoint. this means the world to me. Beyond Olympic Glory is such a personal and emotionally intense project for me. Not just because of the story, but for what it represents. And this recognition just shows that stories like Cynthia's, stories of resilience, of hope, and the underrepresentation of Black women are being heard.
It feels absolutely amazing to have my film selected by the Filmjoint. As I've come to know more about the festival over the years, I know that it's a festival for the underground talent, and for somebody like me that is really introducing myself to the film industry in Nigeria, it's an honor to be selected once again.
My work being spotlighted by Filmjoint, it's an incredible recognition. But far more than that, it's a testament to the importance of diversity in cinema, even in spaces where certain types of cinema are being stifled or are seen as being dangerous. Being a filmmaker that centers African queer experience, they've always been that nagging question about, where do I belong, and where do my work actually belong? This is the reason I do, I do feel that being spotlighted by Filmjoint, it's an incredible, or it's a striking reminder that that I do belong here, that my works, are being rooted here, irrespective of, the thematic preoccupation and the characters that I do center.
Filmjoint makes me feel like a powerful support has been added to me as a filmmaker, and it reminds me that voices like ours matters, and platforms like Filmjoint do exist to help amplify them.
So, I mean, just moving on quickly, we're talking about our films and all, but there's always a reason why, why we do these films. So I think what I would just ask is, what motivated you to do your films, and, why? Why did you do it? What inspired you? So I'm not starting with you, I'll start with him, right?
Okay, yeah. So first off, my film follows the story of a fashion designer, a young fashion designer, determined to join a boyfriend overseas, and of course to get a better life. And then after experiencing a series of visa rejection, she felt she found a chance, to get a way out by pretending to be an officer, right? And then of course she was met with a lot of hilarious misadventures. So why did I do this? I've always been fascinated by, there's something called Japa syndrome in Nigeria that's trying to get a better life outside of Africa, outside of the country Nigeria. So I've always been fascinated by how far people can go, to chase like a better life and love sometimes, So I thought about, okay, let me bring love, let me bring better life, let me bring the chase to it, and then okay, let's tell the story. Let's see what it looks like. Plus, I wanted people to, when you want to tell such story, it can be when you want to look at the real side of it, the social construct of it. There are real life situations, trying to really get out by all means, doing everything, possible. But then I wanted people to feel relaxed while getting the message. That's why.
I think you really hit the nail on the head. What I wanted to ask is this, the story, did it come from somewhere personal, or you just looked at it in a very general point of view? Because you're talking about the old Japa syndrome. Maybe you had a best friend that did some stuff to really Japa.
Yeah, so I've actually heard weird stories. I've heard somebody trying to be a pilot because he wanted to, travel overseas. I've had somebody trying to be a doctor. I think that was common at some point. People trying to be medical workers, and then I think there was a case, and then somebody was having a cardiac arrest. Oh yeah, I think we have a doctor. Yeah, come on.
Doctor.
So my film is about the pressure to get married for Nigerian women once they hit the age of 30. And this is a personal pressure that I feel. And so, if anything, I just wanted some sort of representation for women all over the world, because as I've come to find out, there are many cultures that experience this same pressure. And so I made this film as a message to all women to really just take hold of your life, realize that your life is yours to live, and don't disregard your culture, but don't allow it to make your life's decisions for you.
Telling Shall We Meet Tonight was important to me because, as a filmmaker, I think it's at some point it transcends an obligation and it becomes a calling. To tell stories like this that pertains to one's identity and how they are being perceived in within a very heteronormative society, and one that is also very patriarchal as well. Shall We Meet Tonight is a story that centers a woman that is bound to an arranged marriage. The film basically asks the question: what does it mean, to be a woman and a lesbian existing in a heteropatriarchal society? The film truthfully shed lights on the queer experience, and it basically gives voice, to stories like this, which are barely seen and told in a very homophobic and a very heteronormative society.
Um, an average Nigerian does not like to hear bad news, and we have this belief system that says that what I do not know will not kill me. And they transfer this mentality. I mean, we, because I'm one of them, transfer this mentality to our health as well. We don't like to go for checkups because of the safety that comes with denial. Hence the title of my film, What I Do Not Know Will Not Kill Me. So I decided to make a social impact film about cervical cancer because I realized that if I didn't know so much about it, then it means there are thousands of women out there who didn't know about cervical cancer and what it entails as well. So with this film, I wanted to prove that what we do not know can actually kill you.
For me, it was about shedding light on the often overlooked realities of, I would say, talented people from marginalized communities, people in unconventional spaces, people who have to work twice as hard, just to prove to the world that they exist and they also deserve a good life. Cynthia's story struck me because it wasn't just about boxing, it was about hope, it was about resilience, and the cost of chasing your dream even when everything is against you.
Mel, what inspired you to do your film?
What inspired me to do my film? So my film, Toll Free, it was inspired by me and also the culture. So I got into a car accident. The car was written off and I had to go to therapy because I couldn't drive. And I loved driving before, so I had to go to therapy for a while to get back into it. And then the culture kind of showed, and if you look at Toll Free, the protagonist, played by the talented Michelle Dede, it showed a therapist who needs therapy. And as Africans, whether you're from the diaspora or you're African hair, we're always told to pray it away, drink it away, party it away. No one says face the problem. It's our culture. Oh, no one goes to therapy. You go to church or mosque or you go to the club, right? And so I wanted us to kind of tunnel in and look at mental health. It's not a weakness. Asking for help is not a weakness. And I wanted to spotlight that. And that's what inspired the story.
All right. I mean, I totally get you. I totally get you, especially when you talk about therapy. And therapy, are you mad? Like, why are you going to therapy? So you don't even want to tell anybody that you're going to therapy. It means that you're weak or stuff like that.
It's actually strong to ask for help.
Yeah. Actually, it takes a lot of strength to talk about it. So I totally agree. I'm going to ask a follow-up question, but not now. Let me just get Joy's inspiration for our film.
Allow me to say it was frustration.
Frustration?
Yeah.
All right.
I will explain that, yes. We had seen answers. We had heard stories of people that were harassed, bamboozled, arrested, you know, by the NSAS, the police, and all of that. We had seen those stories. We heard those stories, right? And I was sad. I was, I wasn't, yeah, I was sad. I was frustrated. I'm like, what's all this? But it never happened to me personally. It never happened to someone that I knew personally. So I think when it then happened to someone that I knew, it was upsetting. I was angry. I was frustrated because my friend had traveled to Germany for a performance, a theater performance, and the day he arrived in Nigeria, he was arrested. Oh. So he entered, dropped his suitcases, came out to get food, and then he was arrested right in front of his house for no reason whatsoever. I mean, when I'd seen it, he slept in the cell overnight. I mean, I saw him the next day, and then he had blood clots on his eyes. So my first instance was, what happened to you? What's this on your face? He said, come inside first, I'll explain. I mean, when he told me the whole story, I mean, a story for another time. He told me the whole story, I was angry, you know, I was angry. So I see the reason why a lot of people, when they go out on social media and have this rage and talk about, you know, NSAS, police brutality and all of that, I understand it now. So it was out of frustration because I wanted people to be aware of this injustice. I mean, not just these guys, they arrest young boys, they arrest every other day. They are not just statistics. They are people. They are people who have hopes, you know, especially those ones in, you know, the marginalized community that they don't know anybody at the top, right? Because when they arrested my friend, no one knew he was arrested. They arrested him with his housemates. Nobody knew they were arrested. You know, they could have been there, if not for an intervention somehow. It just happened, right? So these boys, you know, the ones that couldn't get this intervention, their hopes are derailed. Like, who's going to fight for these people? Who's going to tell people that this is what these young boys are facing? So, yes, frustration. That's what inspired it.
Yeah. You know, I think everybody was affected one way or the other, you know, from, you know, the NSAS protest. And it's really inspiring when we have films like this that try to, you know, talk about stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to ask that follow-up question. And that is, you know, how do you think you can create the same level of emotional impact as, you know, feature-length films, especially when you have limited amount of time? So for you, I think I just want to ask, like, what was the process? Because there's a tendency, I'm a writer, where we want to put everything, we're like, you know, and just keep on going. So how do you approach, or how did you approach your film to actually still get the same level of emotional impact that you want? You know, you want people to talk about therapy, you want people within a short period of time. So I'm going to start with you, Mel.
Yeah, so for me, because it stemmed from somewhere personal, when I, you know, created the idea and everything and a synopsis, and then I had a great team. I had a great writer, Ozioma, and I also had Walter Banger as well on my project. It was to focus on the important, it's all important. And even when they edited it, it came down to like 10 minutes, 48, but we had 20 minutes, right? So I had to chop off half. And so it's about just homing in on the DNA of the story, especially for a short film, because we don't have the luxury of, you know, having 10 acts and, you know, the beginning and the end and 3 hours. So we really had to just focus on the point, how to best impact the audience, and just to drive the story home. So it really was just homing in on what we really wanted to say. And also that made production tighter to ensure that, you know, we shot what we needed to shoot, to tighter schedules. But I loved it. I think a story is a story no matter how long it is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Man, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, in as much as my film seemed like, oh, it's just a light-hearted film, there was a lot of emotional manipulation. Of course, filmmaking is about manipulating emotions. There was a lot of emotional manipulation that had to come in between, because I was trying to explore the themes of determination, ambition, even consequences as well, right? So just like she said, just hitting the core of the story. technically, I told my scriptwriter that don't worry, go all out first. You know, so that we don't stifle the creativity. Let's go all out first. We know the story already, but like go all out, and then we'll bring it close, right? So from that pre-production process up onto the post-production process, it's about the message. Every other thing is, secondary.
I agree. And honestly, I think that's one of the beautiful things about short films. We don't have a lot of time, so we focus. No, I'm not throwing shade at feature-length films, but yeah, I'm throwing shades. But for short films, you don't have time. You're focused, you're trying to get the point there. And I think that's what actually creates that impact, because, you're just hit with it like a dose. It's almost like a tablet of therapy, a tablet of, whatever, just goes. And I think that's the great thing about short films. But Joy, I don't know if you have a different opinion.
Well, I mean, same thing as, they said, it's a short film. So, I mean, however you tell the story, it's a story, right? And fun fact, the roommate I was arrested with, my friend, is a writer. Yeah, so they're all creative. So I said, who better to write the story than yourself? So when he was writing the story, when he showed me the first draft, I'm like, guy, what's going on here? This is like 1 hour. What's happening? What's happening? It's a short film. What's happening? So, I mean, I kind of, rubbed heads with him, and I said, you know what? Let's just do this. We have so much to put in. We had so much we wanted to tell, because there were so many things that happened in 24 hours that they were there, right? So I said, you know what's going to happen? Let's just do a narrative style, right? Let's tell the story and watch it happen. That's how we're able to put in that shot,
That's really beautiful. I mean, so it means you can see like there's a thread running between the three of you, but just different tactics to actually try to, like Mel said, get the DNA of the story. So I mean, we've been talking about the story, but let's talk about production itself. And this is what I like, so I can get insights. I know how to shoot my own film. So, but I want to ask, what are the challenges you faced in terms of production when you were doing your films? I want to start, so I'll just throw it out there now. I want to go for it, because I know there are some challenges that yourself, the thing will be choking in your heart. That kind of thing. I say, I want to see my challenge. Please, may I start? Nobody's starting.
I don't mind starting.
All right.
And so for me, it was locations. And why it was locations? Because I love to show something that hasn't been shown before, and I really didn't want to use venues or maybe locations that have been used a million times to give something fresh. And so that took a long time. I was like, my location managers was bringing like pictures. I was like, no, I've seen this in this film. I've seen this in that film. Oh, that was in that series. So I didn't want to use it. So that was very challenging. And then we actually ended up using the abandoned Iranian embassy on Body Long that like no one had used. And it was very cinematic. And when I went there, I was like, no, I can't use this place, because we have to like turn around the whole building. And we did it. We did it. We filled it up. So that for me was a challenge, was finding fresh locations. But we did it though.
All right. I mean, totally. I won't lie. I think I was expecting you to say people. I mean, people sound but I mean, getting the location, because I feel like most times the moment you get the location, I think there's just this relief, especially as the producer. There's just this relief that you would have, like, okay, we have the locations, and anything that happens, the location is there. So, but I get it. You do, especially as a creative, you really have a vision, and you don't want, like you said, you don't want someone's work in your work. I'm the kind of writer that if I'm writing something and I find out that someone is writing something similar, I might just change everything. I'm like, no. So I understand what you're saying.
There were a lot of challenges in making this film come to life, but the toughest was, having to tell a story that is still unfolding. A lot changed, a lot happened, but I'm glad that I and my team was able to tell the story or follow the story with honesty, with care, and most importantly, with respect, right? The hardest part was having to witness Cynthia's emotional toll after everything was taken from her. It was quite a tough moment for me, for her, and everyone on the project. But even at some point, I had to stop filming for a couple of months just to give her that space, for her to heal, and that was very important and instrumental to producing the film.
For me, there are many of them, but the biggest for me would be the mental stress of always being at constant awareness of your environment because of the type of film that you were making. And as artists, as filmmakers, we always seek that kind of environment where we can be free to express our art. We can be liberal, to make or to create our film or to create our art. But for the queer filmmaker, I mean that freedom is not fully accorded. That privilege is not fully there because you are a constant awareness of or a constant consciousness of your environment, which can be mentally draining. And I mean, for example, you're watching, like, who could be watching when you're creating or you're making an intimate scene, or who could be listening, to your dialogues, which could actually give you away that that you are making that sort of cinema that people see as abominable in this part of the world. But one of the ways we were able to overcome this challenge, I really think we are very deliberate with our plans. We are very meticulous with everything we did, from the plannings to the location scouting to casting of actors. That deliberateness, which we imbibed, actually helped, to overcome a huge amount of, this challenge that comes with making films like this.
Challenges I faced during the filmmaking process. Access was a major challenge, first of all. Getting people to open up about, something so personal and painful was not easy. I also realized that there was a strong stigma around this particular disease for several reasons. And one of them is the strong pungent smell that emanates from people with this disease, and also the wrong myths that fly around saying that it is caused when a woman is being promiscuous. Things like this just made access to women very difficult. And so when I found Dr. Aisha Mustafa, who is a doctor and a gynae oncologist based in Zaria, it really, really was very special to me to find someone willing to open up and also share their story. So building trust and creating a safe space made all the difference when I was making the film.
To be honest, this film, I think I was quite blessed with the subjects that I had because they were all my friends. So it was quite a smooth process to make this film. So I wouldn't really say that I had too many challenges. This is my 4th short film, and so I think I'm getting a hang of things. If anything, it's my first documentary, so I think just understanding how I wanted this story to come across in a medium that I haven't explored before was a bit of a challenge. But I enjoyed fusing in some narrative elements into the documentary. So in the end, it was something that I didn't know was gonna come out that way, but it is a beautiful project.
Man, you want to go next?
Okay. I always find it interesting to share my challenges with with OVISA, with the production of OVISA. A lot of times, the first thing I would have mentioned, I'd have mentioned the locations and then some, production technicality. But then just recently, I I thought about it, and I figured how challenging it was to, to hit that comedic timing and translate it visually in a short film without making it look like a skit. Because
I need to write that down.
Because I wanted a film. Yes, fine, it was a situational comedy, but if you are not careful, it will just come off as a skit. That's one part. Another part is I never knew comedy was not as easy as it looks, when you are really trying to translate it visually, such that it is not forced, and at the same time, it's really, you can find the hilarious scenes there without forcing it. So that's one challenge. And of course, another challenge is if I pitch OVISA to you, if you're going to sponsor the film, you might run away, because like when you try to think about it, when you bring the mental picture to it, you just like, bro, you're doing too much, you're doing a lot. Because I think I had about like over 60 characters in total for a short film. I just wanted to do something challenging as well too, because what challenges does for you in things like this, it helps challenge your creative prowess as well, because you are working with limited resources. So I need to share these limited resources among 60 over 60 cast and crew for a short film. At the same time, there was the location challenge too. I did an exterior shot in Bariga. There's a place called Bariga in Nigeria, in Lagos. Find out just find out Bariga, So that was straight up, challenging. I had about like over 40 talks behind the camera, trying to
carry your camera.
Yes.
You've not paid. Even after paying them, they still tell you, is that sector,
Exactly.
that gang that you paid.
So there was a lot of drama, a lot of distractions, but you just cannot be distracted, because at the end of the day, what are you going to explain to? You will not stand beside your film every other time to explain that, okay, so this place, they would stop me, So you still have to, that's why it's good to have an amazing team, and shout out to like the cast and the crew for OVISA, because they really brought that A game.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, I think my challenge was, it was a new experience for me.
Okay.
So I had challenges all around, right? First of all, but there was a little bit of ease, because everyone I shot with were my friends. Because I'm an actor, so I had friends, colleagues who were cast members, who have been production managers, who have been editors, camera guys, all of them. So, they all kind of were telling me, don't worry, it's going to be okay, right? Another challenge was budgeting, right? In this economy, because I had 12 casts, I had over how many crew members, and every day I was looking at myself like, what am I doing? Because I had a crew producer, and she had, put down a budget and said, okay, this is and this and this and this is what we're spending. At the end of the day, we did spend more than what was on the budget, but still, that was a challenging aspect. Then another one was location. Nobody's going to give you a police station to shoot that thing. So,
except your father
is... Yes. Nobody's going to give you a police station to shoot whatever you want to shoot. So, it was war. And then one day, my friend who's the DOP, Filmmakers, he was walking with me on the road, and then he was like, what's this building? I'm like, oh, my landlord owns it. He has sold it. And then it just happened that the person he sold it to, was there at that moment. So I just went to meet him, and I said, please, sir, I need somewhere to shoot. And then we had to turn the whole, so it was an old building. They had a small school. So we had to change a whole classroom, make it into a police station. Yeah. So all of that was, and then we had to deal with, because I shot in Shomolu Bariga axis. So I dealt with a lot of Agbero, and then we shot into late at night, and the Agbero came like, okay, they will be the ones to protect us, that we should give them something. At 12 midnight, they left us, all of that. all of that was challenging, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was good.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think the truth is that I think those challenges actually make us real proud at the end of the day when we see the work, because when you watch it, just be like, you just watch it and say, that's that thing, if you know how before we got it, that kind of thing. I'm going to tell you my own challenge, don't worry. My own challenge. So I was on the production, I was supposed to produce something, and I was the first AD. And I knew that we were going to shoot overnight, like we had to shoot overnight. Let me tell you my challenge. My challenge was telling the actors that we were going to shoot overnight. I went to sit down somewhere. I said, how do I tell these people that there's no food, no nothing, but you people are staying here overnight? And that's why I said I was talking about like people, and not necessarily them, giving you issues per se, but like working with people as a filmmaker is really, I think you need this skill. Maybe after directing, screenwriting, producing class, then like people management, people talking to people's skills, because it's really something very essential, because it can destroy your set and it can galvanize it. You see people just come together and do stuff for you. So yeah, but at the end of the day, I believe that's what makes our film good. You even see these people did a lot. So yeah.
On people, truly, I agree. Because I just remember that. So like a day to filming, some people bailed out.
Wow.
On the day of filming, I didn't even see some people. So I had to like make some very last minute, changes.
That's why they say, there's someone that used to say everything that will go wrong will go wrong. And there's someone that used to say something like that on a film set. And sometimes I even feel it's witchcraft, because something you've checked everything, you've done everything. The location is said, the man has told you, this is going to work. And next thing you say, his wife is giving birth. What if it's not witchcraft? Then what is it? So yeah, but we're all better for it. So I think I'm wrapping up a bit, but I think one of the final questions I'll just try to ask is, short films often struggle with visibility. What do you think is the biggest barrier to distribution of short films generally? Yeah, this is a deep question, Abby. Man, you want to start?
Okay. You said short films.
Yeah, the struggle with visibility.
Yeah, struggle with
so,
visibility.
like, what would you say is like biggest barrier?
In my opinion, I don't think I don't want to say any, but I don't think there are platforms that are peculiar or essentially short film platforms. Yeah, short film content. I don't know of anyone that is taking like an special spearhead in that aspect. But regardless, there's a public domain for everybody, which is YouTube. Also, I'd also use this time to also mention something. They keep telling young filmmakers to collaborate, and collaboration as well is just beyond just film minutes. Collaboration should go beyond film minutes and should extend to distribution as well. The honest truth is, today everybody wants to own a channel, and then you end up with like 13 subscribers and 7 views. But then sometimes we can all just come together and like create a larger pool and enjoy, larger audiences. That's my opinion. Yeah. And then regardless of that too, as a filmmaker too, when you are planning your film, always have it at the back of your mind where you want it to end up to, just even before you start shooting.
I agree. I mean, there aren't platforms that really focus on short films. And
Shout out to Filmjoint though.
yeah, that's what we're trying to do. I was going there. I was like, you know, but that's why we have Filmjoint. You know, really try to hone in on the power of short films. And personally, I feel like in the nearest future, short films will be a real big thing, and by that time, those of us that have started, doing our short films will probably, really be ahead of something. So yeah, but like you said, also with collaboration, I think it's because of the way we are wired. We're just trying to be ahead. We're trying to be ahead. So everybody's very individualistic in a way. But I think if collaboration extends beyond just shooting a film, I think really, like you said, you have 13 subscribers and 7 views. That's you, your family, and you're watching it. So let's do more. So I totally agree. So Mel.
Short films, like you said, it's all about the story and who is your film for. Typically, people don't look at short films as a commercial product. It's more just to show your story, your talent, what you can do. But there are platforms and entities like yourself, like Filmjoint, like Afrif, like all these places that spotlight short film, and festivals as well. I think a number of people feel like, okay, because maybe I shot it in London, so it's just for London, or I shot it in Lagos. No, it's just for the world. You can send your short film to Tribeca, to TIFF, to TIFF. Then there's so many. Yeah. So I feel maybe just looking outside of your purview. But yes, a distribution is always a big thing. It's the biggest thing, because if you create an amazing film, I always have the kind of mindset like, where do you want it to end up? Because from day one, because otherwise you're going to have an amazing film in your wardrobe, right? So yes, so collaboration, definitely, and just I think, and I feel like short films are a chance to show off. It's a chance to show off, like this is what I can do, because you have a smaller budget, smaller cast, smaller crew, less risk, less insurance. So it's time to show off and like, this is me, and that's what I feel short films are really about.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think. Probably there should be a shift there's a particular narrative that we had as young filmmakers. It's short films are just shoot a film, that there's that narrative. And I think that's one of the things that was affecting short films. So we just have people just shooting what they want to do. So, but I'm really happy, especially with your films and the films that we're getting out there. We see people really showing off, doing like great stuff. So I think if we can go on that line, I think people will see more of the value of short films and maybe not necessarily commercialize it. That's a different topic for another day, because but
at the same time, but it's a catch-22, because at the same time it comes down to collaboration, because if you have one filmmaker making one short film, that's one thing. But if you have 20 filmmakers that made 20 short films and come together as like an anthology piece, that's a very different conversation. So definitely. Collaboration can solve a lot of problems.
Definitely. Hopefully we'll see something very soon in the future. I always make reference to to what we have on Netflix with Love, Death and Robots and Black Mirror, something like that.
And there's a few others as well.
And there are a few others. So, that I think that's the collaboration that we're talking about. So, Joy.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, you might not agree with me. I think
I object.
Okay.
All right.
I think that I believe that why we think that we have a barrier, why short films, have a barrier to distribution, is because we feel like Nigeria isn't used to the culture of short films. Nigeria in general are not used to the culture of short films, right? Because if, for example, I have a short film and then I want to, put it out there, for everyone to see, right? You want to promote it. We usually start with social media, and all of that. I mean, if you put it on all the blogs, everybody like, okay, it's a short film. Most people in Lagos will know what that is. In Abuja, in these main cities. But people in Asaba Anambra, they don't know what that is. They might not know what that is, right?
Yeah.
So I think that she's right. We have, different festivals. We can put out our short films. I think that's the way we can be seen, right? It's just we, the filmmakers, that know that, right? A lot of other people don't know that. Right? But I feel like short films is, like she said, it's just for us to show what we can do, right? We can do this, okay? We can do bigger, we can do better. Or sometimes some people want to remain on, small, medium scale. So.
All right. I didn't object. I don't object. I think a lot of people just sometimes they even, like we say, see it as like a skit or something. Short film, skit, and that thing used to pain me. Like I usually say. I'm not taking any jab at any skit maker. I think it's a different medium, different stuff, but. Like you describing all you went through to shoot your film, and someone now calls it a skit. You the person, So yeah, there's a reorientation that is needed, and I think personally that's what I think we're trying to do at Filmjoint. With the premieres, with the awards. I hope you all know about the awards. We did this year's was in February. Next year is also going to be in February. It's an award dedicated solely to short films. So I believe when we have more things really focused on short films, we have more people realizing the value of short films and see it not just as, what are you saying? Short films. It's not film is film. But so, yeah.
I think the biggest barrier is access to the right networks, to funding, and platforms that genuinely care about short films. Unless your film makes it to a major festival circuit or it goes viral, it can be difficult for it to be seen. And I also feel like we lack the infrastructure when it comes to short form content in Africa, and we don't have enough platforms that give the same respect to short films, unlike feature-length projects.
One of the biggest barriers to short film distribution is infrastructure. There just aren't enough accessible platforms dedicated to showcasing short films, especially those tackling tough social issues. Then there's also the assumption that short film means less impactful, which couldn't be further from the truth. We need more intentional distribution ecosystems that treat short films with the same respect as they treat feature-length films.
I think that people think short films are easy to make and therefore don't deserve the same platforms that feature films get, which is crazy to me. Short films may require less resources, but every film is difficult to make. It's literally a miracle if you're able to produce or finish a film. So I'm excited to see more short films be put on platforms because they deserve it. The world deserves to see all these stories.
I think the final question not final, maybe it's not final. Another question might pop up in my head. Semi-final. But I think I'll just ask because you don't know we're supposed to be 10. We have 10 finalists. And it's a very rigorous process, guys. The fact that you're top 10, is a very big deal because I've submitted films, I've submitted scripts, and I know what it is to get to like sort of like a final stage. But then this is not the final. There's top 5, and we're doing the premiere for the top 5. And like we always try to explain what the Filmjoint Premiere is, unlike a festival where we have, a lot of films shown, and then what we try to do is make you feel very important. We make your film feel very important. The same way we have, a Netflix film premiere is the same way we're trying to create something for short films. And it's part of the reasons why it's also just 5, but at the same time, it's so that we can, highlight these films and, come, with your Met Gala clothes, call your, call your AMVC, anyone you want to say, come enjoy and all. So I think the question is, if your film makes it to the final 5 for the premieres, what impact do you hope your film will make on the audience? I know you've sort of touched on it a bit with, I think, the first question, but I think you could just, maybe one sentence, you know. Maybe I'll even be able to guess. I should be able to guess with all what you've said, what you say. But so, Joy.
Well, I want people to be able to, I want people to be able to feel empathy. I want people to be able to see the film and say, what can I do? I want people to be able to see the film and say, what changes can I make? How can I make changes from my own, path? Yeah.
Okay, so that before I go, I'll just ask a follow-up question. So all of you just did that. So in one word, describe your film. Just one word.
In one word, I have many words. I have a sentence in my head, but
sentence.
in one word.
It's a short film, so make it short.
Okay.
Make it short.
So in one word, hope.
Hope. Nice one. Thank you very much. I'll write it down. We have hope. Mel, what do you want your audience to take away from your film, and in one word, describe your film?
I want them to challenge their thought process. So whatever they think, reverse it. And then one word, oxymoron.
Oxymoron. I think I'm learning new words.
Because in mine, a therapist needs therapy, so oxymoron.
Yeah. Okay, I get it now. I get it. So hope, oxymoron, man.
Okay. First off, before thinking about OVISA getting into the top 5 finalists, that it has made it this far, because a lot of African filmmakers, I know they make great stuff. And for OVISA to make it this far to the top 10 finalists, it's really validating for me, and I'm grateful for that. What I expect my audience, or the audience, to take away from OVISA is that I want them to reflect on how we navigate systems. As Nigerians, we have a crazy way of navigating systems, honestly. Speaking from special senses. It's as grassroots as that. How we navigate systems, the dreams we chase, how we bend ourselves to fit in. We need to start changing some narratives, for the future betterment of the country. Like they say it begins with you. Yeah. So I want people to reflect in as much as they're having fun. I want them to reflect. So if I'd give one word, I have quite a number of words, but now that you have conditioned me to one word, I just randomly pick one of the words and I say ambition.
Ambition. So we have hope, oxymoron, ambition. So
Grateful. Yes. I'm super grateful that this story did not go unseen, because being here means that the story is moving and it's reaching the right audience. So thank you so much, the Filmjoint, for such a wonderful opportunity. And I hope that we get to the final 5 for premieres.
I feel gratitude, to be honest. That's the word that describes how I feel. Gratitude. I'm just grateful to be here, to be selected.
One word that captures how I feel at this stage of the selection process is calm. Sure that no matter what, this film will be seen a lot more by Nigerians, a lot more by people from all over the place.
If I could describe my film in 3 words, what would they be? Inspiring, resilient, and unfinished. Yes, this is not the end of Cynthia's story, so watch out for what's to come.
3 words that describe my film would be intimate, urgent, and unforgettable.
If I could describe Tina When Will You Marry in 3 words, it would be raw, unfiltered, and absolutely hilarious. That was not 3 words, but that's my answer.
All right. So finally, before you go, we have a game that I just want to quickly play before you guys go. Yeah. Wow. A quick game. We're just going to quickly play a game. I'm going to play an audio of a Nigerian film from a clip from a movie, and it's a popular Nigerian film. So don't worry, it's easy. All right. So the first person to get it, and I'm going to just do 5, just 5. So first person to get it wins. So the first clip, just try to listen.
King of Boys. I said it first.
That was easy. True.
I told you it was easy. Yeah, I told you it was easy. You know. All right. So, Mel, yeah, how fast? So you have to be very fast. Be very fast.
Amaka, sir? Yeah? What is it? Do you want to attack me? No, sir. Then why? Are you
Achalugo.
No.
Don't go like you don't know that you don't know. You didn't share everything.
Bukan. No.
Jackie Dilly.
And I'm always telling you.
I'm trapped.
Tribe of Judah.
You gave her a hint. You gave her a hint.
Which one of them?
You gave her a hint.
Let me get a remaining 3.
Yes, the moment. So that's 2. Can
Well
you
done.
imagine?
They won't cover the dead body. I tell them no. All of you now go use una eyes to wait till they do my picture.
Man, what's going on? What's going on? All right, so we have 2-1.
2-1-0.
2-1-0. Yeah. You guys might not get this one, but I'll still.
Please meet Jessica. Now Jessica says she's.
That's a mistake. No, don't worry.
Balakoshi. $800,000. Let's spend this money.
Very good one. All right. This one, God will help
What I really want to tell you is, you be fine girl. Now fine girl, no they cry for me. As they break your heart, so you say, make shortlist. Break their heart back.
Yeah, I
you. You've not said
I don't know the name. I don't know the name. This one playing.
This on arrival.
No, that's not fine. At least half.
No.
It was like when I mentioned Funke Akindele to you.
No, but she has many. I said this one on the TV.
All right.
Like
this
at
one,
least
right?
2.5.
So this is a bonus
tie.
round. I'm sure all of you know this. So, but I can bet that you guys don't even know the title very well, but you might know. Let's wait.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. This is it because we have 2-2-1. That's not the name of the film.
Love in every word.
Love in every
Yes.
word. Yeah, very correct. Honestly, I don't know the title so well. I don't know. So you know this I played if I knew the film, but
So we need one more. Who's gonna we need one more. I didn't think. Oh, you guys are very tough. You guys are very tough. I thought someone would just get everything. Okay, so I know what I'll do. It's not going to be Nigerian. To be a foreign movie.
Okay.
let's try.
Yeah. Tiebreaker, guys. This is it. Only God will help you. All right.
How could I not be in charge? Being a judge is what kings do. So
I'm not
shut
gonna
up.
know this.
I vote for you.
Not the feet. Do not touch the feet.
This is anime.
Fair use, not enough.
It's animation. Yes.
Which is fine by me because I do not intend to fail.
I doubt
I
I'm
vow to do the
I'm not
opposite
I'm
of fail.
I'm not an anime person. I'm not anime.
You're not an anime person.
No, I will not succeed.
I know people that once they hear this and they know
On the
already.
Minion.
We will all
No.
be eating
No, I wish.
Give us a clue. Is it me?
Moana?
And The Incredibles.
No. Okay. It's Pixar now, right? It's Pixar.
Monsters Inc.
Pixar.
No, it's an old.
Toy Story.
No. They
Boss
did.
Baby?
I think now you guys are just naming all the
Pixar, because like
The people are
Pixar.
just picking from the Pixar.
Yeah, okay, the Pixar, right. So it has a standalone movie, 2 standalone movies. Then there was a spin-off. This one is not the spin-off. So the spin-off, I'll tell you the spin-off, the name of the spin-off.
But that's gonna spoil it though, I feel.
But if you can't get it after I say it, then you don't deserve to win. All right, so the spin-off, the name of the spin-off is... Okay, let me name the character. So
The character will give
the
it.
character talking is King Julian.
I don't know.
You don't know it?
Wait, King Julian. Sounds familiar.
Hold on, do you know Skipper Kowalski?
Hold on. So wait, no, is it? So this movie, this anime about is it about a little girl?
That's Monsters Inc. You see, you give them a tough one.
We don't know.
You give them a tough one. So you don't know.
That character name is.
Do you know the spin-off called Penguins of Madagascar?
I know penguins. I've not seen it, but I know.
Isn't
penguins.
it just like Madagascar then?
Madagascar.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah, got it. I said, give me
Let's say again.
I said. So yeah, they had part 1, part 2, Madagascar 1 and 2. Then they did Penguins of Madagascar
remember.
series. It's an
And the Lion King had like a square.
Yeah, you know, it's an old. I think you just made it too tough for them. Like,
Yes. I'm judging you.
All right, but Mel still got it. So let's give it up for Mel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. It was really awesome, spending time with you guys.
You too.
I
Thank you
hope.
for having us.
Thank you very much.